Number one, if you are not looking for marriage and kids, I'm out. Some people will tell me like that's super harsh and that I shouldn't be looking for my husband in every single person that I meet. I don't necessarily disagree with them. But at 30 years old, like I know what I want. I know that I'm looking to get married and have kids. If you're not looking for the same things as I am, it's not going to be a match.
Ma'am, you are over the age of 30 and you are still out here dating on dating applications. Don't you think that if you really wanted marriage and kids, you probably should have had them many years ago? Yo, what is going on, guys? Got an absolutely hilarious video here for you today. We have modern women trying to date over the age of 30, and we are going to be kicking it off with this woman right here who has some apparently controversial rules, right? So guys, today's episode is made by Matrix of Madness. I'm going to leave his channel linked in the pinned comment. Make sure that you go and check him out. He also endures a lot of this cringe like we do over here. But, you know, let's take a listen to some of these women who are over the age of 30 and what they have to say about their dating experiences. I believe this first woman here really needs to get married and have kids now that she is 30, right? She's done with the party years. Let's jump in.
So I'm going to talk about some controversial rules I have for dating as a single 30-year-old. A lot of you are doing this trend for controversial rules for your relationship, but because I'm still single, I figured I would just do this.
Right, so number one, this is a trend on TikTok, apparently, right? I have always thought it to be incredibly weird that these women over 30 even have TikTok and are posting their relationship woes, but apparently it's normal, right? Apparently it's normal to get on here to talk about how many times you've been ditched by dudes. Hell, apparently it's even normal to talk about your marriage. I've seen married people on here and their women are the women are talking about their marriage. And they wonder why dudes don't want to date them. But let's jump into her rules.
Number one, if you are not looking for marriage and kids, I'm out. Some people will tell me like that's super harsh and that I shouldn't be looking for my husband in every single person that I meet. I don't necessarily disagree with them. But at 30 years old, like I know what I want. I know that I'm...
Guys, this is a great rule, right? Look for your husband, look for having kids, right? Look for that long-term partner. The funny thing is, to me, is that women will implement this rule when they start to hit 30, right? They could have had their Prince Charming younger. They could have had their family younger. But what do they decide to do? They decide to hit the club. They decide to screw around with bad boys for literally over a decade oftentimes. And then they want to turn around and they want to find the good man, right? Now that she's 30, and now that she knows what she wants, right? I have always thought that this is a bad deal for men to wife up and have kids with a woman who has been screwing around with random men all throughout her 20s. And now she finally just, she decides to settle with you. Wow, really feeling special over here.
I don't necessarily disagree with them. But at 30 years old, like I know what I want. I know that I'm looking to get married and have kids. If you're not looking for the same things as I am, it's not going to be a match. I really just don't like wasting my time. Number two,
this woman's sitting here talking about wasting her time, but this is all she has done, right? Like, what do you mean? This is like handing an assignment in, like trying to hand an assignment back in school in. You're like 2 months overdue, and then you're like, yeah, but usually I really like getting them in on time. What do you mean, right? Oh, I don't like wasting time. No. You did like wasting time, but now you realize that you have a certain amount of time left. So now you realize you can't afford to waste it anymore.
Has to be, if you are not intentionally planning a date, I'm out. I get myself into these situations quite often where I'll match with somebody on a dating app, I'll connect with them over social media, I even meet them out at a bar. And for some reason, it just ends up turning into this like casual conversation.
Wow, guys, I wonder why the men are treating the women who hit 30 like casual fun. I wonder why this might be the case, right? You have been screwing around this entire time, all throughout your 20s, and now you're going to sit here and you're going to complain that men aren't taking you seriously. I don't have any sympathy. And mind you, guys, she could, you know, women like this, she's not horrible looking, right? She's not like deformed or anything like this, okay? Don't get it twisted. She has plenty of options in men, but she just doesn't want the average ones, right? Too short, she doesn't want you. Doesn't earn enough money, she doesn't want you. Socially awkward, doesn't want you. Receding hairline, doesn't want you. I mean, the list goes on and on, right? So, you know, she sits here and she continues to try and date those attractive guys on dating apps, which all of the women are matching with, mind you. And then she's asking herself the question, why can I not get something more than a casual relationship out of men? Right? And guys, if you give these women advice, you tell them why they can't get anything more than a casual relationship, but they don't want to hear it. They think you don't like women if you give them the truth.
And for some reason, it just ends up turning into this like casual conversation where we'll text a little bit here and there. I'm over it. If you are not intentionally planning a date, you're showing me that you're just not that interested. The next one is if you are not picking up the phone and calling me or FaceTiming me, I'm out. I'm 30 years old and I'm busy. I have a job. I'm a realtor. I do not want to text you all day long.
Right. You're a busy, strong, independent woman, but I still have to give you phone calls and FaceTimes to feed you attention. I mean, guys, these women are just grown-up children, are they not? Pay me attention, right? Talk to me all the time. Goodness gracious. So, I personally find this behavior to be incredibly annoying. I imagine that a lot of men would find this crap annoying. We don't want to be calling you. We don't want to be FaceTiming you. If you have something to say, just say it in person. It's not that damn difficult. Right? But these girls, they message you all day. They want to talk to you all day. And the funny thing is, the men that they want are busy, right? We're not busy like you think you are. This woman will sit here and she'll say, yeah, I'm busy. Yeah, so busy, guys. She's recording TikTok videos and she probably browses TikTok for half of her day. But the men that she wants probably don't really have the time or the will to have FaceTimes and calls with you. You know what I'm saying? Men are just not interested in this crap. If you have something to say, just say it to his face. We don't need a phone call buddy. As much as you don't need a texting buddy, we don't need a phone call buddy.
Text you all day long. Either call me and ask how my day is, ask how I'm doing. So if you're not doing one or two of those things before our date or in between dates, I'm out. And lastly, I think this should...
Before she gets on to the last one, guys, I really need to take a moment here to explain to men just how deceptive this crap is. So this woman wants you to be calling her, she wants you to be FaceTiming her, and she wants you to like plan and set up the dates and things. Guys, let me just say this. Let's just say you have a date planned with a woman on, I don't know, a Wednesday, right? And it's like a Saturday or a Sunday right now. I don't know, right? Just hypothetically. And you start calling her on Monday and Tuesday to see how her day is going. And to have just a conversation with her because you want to show her that you're a great man. A lot of women, will think that you're a freak, right? They'll think that you're some weirdo. This is like, you know, back in the day, it used to be normal to give women flowers on the first date. These days, you rock up with flowers, you start giving women these phone calls and all this crap. I mean, they'll just treat you like garbage. They'll just use you. And if you don't believe me, guys, feel free to go and do it. Take a woman that's interested in you that you haven't met yet. Start giving her phone calls and FaceTimes asking her how her day is going. Good luck to you, my friend.
Before our date or in between dates, I'm out. And lastly, I think this just kind of like ties it all together, but if you're not pursuing me, I'm out. I feel like a lot of guys will give breadcrumbs, so a little bit of interest. If you are not pursuing me like a man should, then I'm out. Men are hunters. Women...
I am so sick of hearing this sentence. Men are hunters. We're the providers. We're supposed to chase things that we desire. I mean, look, there's probably some argument to that. Okay, we have goals. We shoot for the goals, whatever. Man, you are not worth chasing. The reason why dudes are not doing this crap for you is because they don't want to, right? And I just love this theme in all of these videos where it's like, men have to pursue me. Oh, really? Do we? Because a lot of men aren't pursuing you. So how's that working out for you? Right? Telling men that they have to do things, very interesting approach. given the fact that men actually don't have to do this, and men pursuing you, men doing all of the heavy lifting, right? Asking you out on the date, planning the date. So men have to risk the rejection. They have to plan everything. They have to pay for you. They have to do all of this traditional crap. And you view it as something that men should do. It's like, guy, this is a privilege that was offered to women who were worth it, right? You complain about lack of chivalry. You complain about casual relationships these days. Where is the incentive for men to give you anything different? You are a 30-year-old woman who is out here, probably screwed around all throughout her 20s, and now you want this traditional behavior from men. By definition, you are not traditional, so why should the men be? Let's continue.
Doing me like a man should, then I'm out. Men are hunters. Women want to be pursued. So I don't know, maybe this is why I'm still single, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Is this why I'm still single, or are my rules good to have?
I mean, look, your rules are probably good rules. I can't even sit here and argue with this woman's rules, okay? Right? If you were a young woman, you came to me and you said, hey, look, I'm shooting for marriage right off the bat. I'm shooting to have kids. I want a man who pursues me. Fine, right? But number one, you're 30 years of age. So, trying to implement these rules now, bit of a bold strategy, shall I say. And number two, the entitlement that comes with the way that these women word this stuff. Men don't have to do this stuff for you. We really don't. I think that's, point in case is the fact that a lot of men are not doing this for you. I know guys, right, where if you were to sit there and you were to try, hell, probably a lot of people watching this video right now, if you were to sit there and say to them, hey, listen, you have to pursue me, by virtue of the fact of you saying that, they're probably going to be repulsed. I mean, I know I am, right? Why am I being commanded to pursue women from a woman I don't even know? And for little to no incentive, mind you. It's crazy to me, man. It absolutely is. But here we have the next video. And I haven't seen this one yet. Okay, we have one more woman lined up after this one as well, if we have time. But this is also a woman who's single in her 30s, and she says here, the caption is, ladies, let's talk. Single life problems, am I right? So she's having issues dating like this first woman right here. Let me just line this up really quick, and let's take a listen. This will be good.
You know what my personal favorite part of being single at 41 is?
Oh goodness, we're in our 40s. We're not even in our 30s, right?
Is every single time I click with a man, it seems like they're just not ready to date. They're emotionally unavailable. They want to hang out. They don't want to put any effort in. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to plan a date. Hell, they don't even want to like pop some popcorn and watch a movie. Why is this that this is what we have to pick from as single women in our 40s?
I mean, it's a question that answers itself, is it not? You're single at the age of 40. This is like one giant game of musical chairs, and you just refuse to sit down. And now that the music's off, the game's completely over, and you're wondering, hey, wait a minute, where are the chairs, right? This woman is 41 years of age, guys, asking herself the question, why is it that I have such little options now? And mind you, even at 41 years of age, this woman will have a very, very large amount of options, especially compared to her male counterparts, right? If you take the average 41-year-old dude, he's probably getting significantly less interest from women than even this entitled woman right here is getting from men. So these women are still complaining about their situation. They just always want the dudes who are out of their league. Always, men. There's always that one guy that she's still thinking about. But let's run it back a couple of seconds here. This
is what we have to pick from as single women in our 40s. And then the guys who actually want to put effort in are the young ones, because they think you're a goddess and you're amazing. But if you date them, it's taboo because you're a cougar. Although an older man can completely date a younger woman and no one even bats an eye.
I mean, that's not true at all. Right? You see these older guys dating younger women, and women like you have great amounts of issues with it. Like, guys, who's that guy? What's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio. That's the one. There's literally a chart out there that has shown his, the age of his girlfriends. and how it never goes over 25. And let me tell you, a lot of people were very mad about that. Very, very, very mad about that. Right? A lot of people look at older dudes dating younger women, and they don't like it. They'll call them predators. They'll call them all sorts of names under the sun. Mind you, right? The same women that are sitting there complaining about that, they were never complaining when they were the young ones in that situation. But now that they're older and the attention has dried up, now we begin to complain about that exact same situation, right? They never cared when they were like the 21-year-old that was getting attention from some dude in his 30s. They never cared, right? But now that they're aged out, as it were, now we start to care about these things. I don't know what this woman's talking about. People really don't like it when older men date younger women. They try and shame these dudes into dating women their own age.
Amazing, but if you date them, it's taboo because you're a cougar. Although an older man can completely date a younger woman and no one even bats an eye. This is what it's like to be single at 41. So I hear this argument a lot from single men that it's so expensive, they have to pay for dates, they have to pay for drinks and blah blah blah. But let me just tell you how hard it is being 41 and a single woman.
I'm going to pause it here because, quite frankly, I don't care, and my brain needs a break. Let me just say this, right? To all the dudes who are out there watching this, who think that you have to pay for women like this, you really don't. You absolutely do not. The reason why, like, let's put it to you this way. If you're attractive to this woman, you don't have to pay anything. This is something that a lot of men have realized over recent times, right? The reason why they reach out to these girls and say, hey, want to come over? And it's like 11 p.m. on a Thursday, is because they know that if the woman is attracted enough to you, she will. The same woman that will sit there and say, oh, I need a man to take me out on a date. He has to spend at least this much money, and men have to plan the date, and they have to do blah, 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 blah. The list goes on, right? You know those women. The same women that say that crap are the exact same ones that'll rock up to some random dude's house on a Thursday night because he's attractive enough. Right? So this woman's sitting here, you know, and they'll all try and convince you of this, right? You have to take me out to dinner. You have to take me out to this, to that. No, we really don't. All right, but I'm going to unpause the video now. Hopefully not too much brain damage is inflicted on the rest of the video. Let's continue.
Trying to like go out on dates and not end up alone for the rest of her life. I have to shave everything. I have to spray tan. I have to do all this. Make sure there's no gray.
Do all this. And she like gestures to herself as if it's impressive. Don't really care. To be honest with you guys, women will sit here and they'll talk about their beauty routines and say, I have to do all this before I go out on a date. Don't care. I mean, I really don't. Okay, again, this is the equivalent of a millionaire, someone who has millions of dollars in the bank, complaining to you about the price of a cup of coffee. And they're like, well, it takes me longer to get out of the house because I don't care. Nobody cares about this, right? Pay your own bills, sort your own makeup, not my damn fault. As soon as you start talking like this to me, this is exactly why these women are single, by the way, is because the moment they open their mouth, no man wants to listen to them. Why would, hell, I would wager that other women probably don't want to listen to women like this because they're horrible to be around, men. Any sensible women that come across women like this, they will probably distance themselves from you.
Botox, full glam makeup, put all the clothes on, do all the things, right? It's not cheap. You might be paying for dinner, but I'm paying for like all this upkeep. I have to make sure my toes are done and my nails are done and my teeth are white. And people will be like, oh, you don't have to do all that. Don't worry, just like be natural. Okay.
Yeah, so this woman looks horrible natural. That's why she can't do that. So let's just save her talking there. But I mean, if we want to start tallying up time, right? Oh, you know, I have to do all of this stuff to go out on a date. Most men are not even considered for a date in the first place. And if they are, they typically have to put thousands of hours, let me say that again, thousands of hours into their career to get themselves into a good financial position to even be considered a long-term option by women. Or let's just say they're not very genetically gifted, you're not the most handsome of fellows, or you're not the most tall, shall I say, you probably have to spend thousands of hours in the gym to even be considered. So, you know, if we start tallying up finances and doing cost benefit analyses, right, and all this crap, you still lose, because men have to put in a lot more time by default to even become attractive to the average woman. I don't think these women understand that. Like, let's not get it twisted, okay? Women are not out here marrying or looking for long-term relationships with a McDonald's worker. They want a successful businessman, right? How do you think successful businessmen are made? Do you think they just click their fingers? No, they have to put in a lot of work, right? You want that guy with the six-pack abs who's, you know, quite bulked up but looks really quite lean at the same time. Guess what? That takes a hell of a lot of hours, and not easy hours, mind you. You have to lift some heavy weights. You have to be incredibly consistent. You have to diet, right? But no, tell me more about how putting on your makeup is too difficult for you because you look horrendous natural.
Because then when you show up looking natural, they're not even going to like look at you or want to like have dinner with you. So keep that in mind, man, when you're out there complaining about being single so hard on you and so expensive, because trust me, it's way harder on us and it's way more expensive for us.
You know, I actually don't see a lot of guys complaining about being single, especially not compared to women. Let me say that again, especially not compared to women, right? There are a lot of guys out there who are single, but just because you're alone, for example, doesn't mean you're lonely, right? I know guys who they will spend all day working, or they'll spend all day on their hobby, right? Let's just say it's a weekend and they have a particular hobby. They will spend all day on that hobby, not see or talk to a single soul, and they will go to sleep that night and they will sleep like a baby because it's a day well spent to them. A lot of guys, just because they're not in a relationship with someone as awful as you, it doesn't mean that they're lonely. You see what I'm saying? Guys can really cope with being alone a lot better than women can, it certainly seems, at least if TikTok content is anything to go by. But let me just pull up the last woman in today's episode and see how horrendous this one is. Oh, you guys are not going to like this one. I can see her face. We have another woman in the car. I'm just going to apologize in advance. You know, I'm not really one for apologies, but every time I pull up a clip for you guys to see, you know, a little part of me dies inside. So apologies in advance for this one. This is a woman who is also talking about dating in her 30s, and it's just weird to me how they'll put all of this effort into makeup and nails and all of this stuff, but never any effort into the body fat percentage. Kind of strange, but let's jump in.
Anyway, with the dating scene, I've seen a lot of videos touching on this generation and how we're treating dating. I couldn't agree more to some of the videos, ladies, that you have made. Why is nobody getting off these apps to meet up? I don't get it. You like somebody, or think you might like somebody, just ask them out. It doesn't have to be difficult. It's pretty simple, especially if the person seems like a wholesome person with good morals and values and head on their shoulder and their shit together and carries themselves well in conversation. So,
wow. So here's the question that this woman is asking. Why is it that men won't ask me out? My morals are fantastic. I have a job and I can speak. I mean, are we really sitting here asking this question? So this woman's over the age of 30. Quite clearly doesn't give a crap about her health, right? And she's asking, why is it that dudes don't ask her out on a date? Number one, men probably do ask her out on a date. It's just not the men that she wants, right? This is why so many of these women are single, is because even though they have options, they always think that they deserve better than the option, right? It's never good enough. Never ever is it good enough, right? You come along, let's just say you're a guy and you're not the tallest man. Oftentimes you'll just get treated like crap straight off the bat because of that. Right? They'll swipe on the guy who looks way better on Tinder or Bumble or Hinge or whatever dating app there is out there these days. And they all swipe on these top percentage of dudes, make no mistake. And so the ones who are not as attractive, shall we say, they'll be like, man, why is it that like dudes just, they won't even talk to me for extended periods of time at all? The other women, the guys will go out and see them, but they won't have a relationship with those ones either. Don't get it twisted. But these women there's no introspection whatsoever. There is no, what do I provide to the man? Absolutely no consideration is given to what the man might want, ever.
So what's the deal? I don't need to go out to a steak dinner or go on a helicopter ride. Like, just take me out for ice cream and a walk and let's talk. Like, I don't get it. What are we doing?
Oh, thank goodness, guys. You know, we should be relieved she's not out here asking for a helicopter trip on the first date. Wow, I'm so excited for that. Is this woman's value proposition for dudes is like, hey, at least I'm not asking you to pay for a helicopter ride. I mean, okay, you shouldn't be doing that anyway. Like, what even is this?
How is this shit gonna change? So, anybody else agree that it doesn't have to be that difficult? And like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing that I'm not doing other than being that forward and asking guys out? Because guys, like, really, who hurt you? I've been hurt. I endured a recent tragedy, which was really hard to navigate, but I'm still putting myself out there.
I love how these people will just share. Number one, they assume that somebody hurt you because you don't want to ask them out. Right? Again, guys, this is like going into a car lot. You don't want to buy a car, and then the car salesman calls you insecure because you don't want to buy the car. Wow, it's just because you had the last Hyundai you had, it was unreliable, wasn't it? And it's like, no, bro, I never even owned a Hyundai. Like, these girls are just so damn clueless, man. What did she say at the end here? Some nonsense.
I endured a recent tragedy.
Oh, that's right. So then she goes on to overshare about crap that nobody cares about. So she probably got dumped by a recent Chad. I mean, hopefully she's not a widow or anything like that. I genuinely find those cases to be rather sad. But in the vast majority of cases, guys, these women are not widows. It's not like they had a husband for 10 years. At age 30, they got married when they were, 22, and now she's 32 and she's a widow. I mean, most of these situations are not that at all. They're like, oh yeah, my ex-husband, my last boyfriend, he was so awful and he was so evil. Turns out you talk to that boyfriend and you realize that she was actually the psychopath.
Which was really hard to navigate, but I'm still putting myself out there. I'm very self-aware of what's going on with me and not projecting that onto other people or giving too much information out about that too early on. But yeah, what are we doing? How are we gonna change this? Cause let's fucking change.
So let me get this straight. Psychopathic woman who doesn't really care much about her health is asking for things to change. She wants men to ask her out. But don't worry, guys. She has great morals. She has a job and high levels of introspection, apparently. Yeah, I don't really believe a lot of that, especially the introspection part. You can't really get me with that one. But guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to check out Matrix of Madness for throwing together today's cringe for us to take a look at. He has also been covering a lot of cringe over on his channel. So, guys, go and support him. Go and show him some love for enduring this crap with us. But as always, guys, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.